Dolphins Tyreek Hill carted off with ankle injury and lost to Jets. In a frightening moment for the Miami Dolphins and the entire NFL, star wide receiver Tyreek Hill was carted to the locker room during the first quarter of Monday night's game against the New York Jets after suffering a left ankle injury. The incident occurred with just over 5 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. Hill, the league's leading receiver, was tackled following a 3-yard reception. He remained down on the field immediately after the play, visibly in pain and grabbing his left leg. After being attended to by the Dolphins' medical staff, Hill was helped onto the cart and taken directly to the locker room, unable to put any weight on his left leg. The sight of the cart coming onto the field sent a wave of concern through Hard Rock Stadium, as Hill is the undisputed engine of the Dolphins' high-powered offense. His departure from the game was a massive blow, and the team officially ruled him out for the remainder of the contest shortly before halftime. The injury to Hill overshadowed the entire game, which the Dolphins ultimately lost 30-0. While the final score was significant, the long-term health of their most dynamic player is the primary concern for Miami moving forward. Following the game, head coach Mike McDaniel provided a crucial update that brought a measure of relief. McDaniel told reporters that initial X-rays on Hill's ankle came back negative, indicating no fracture. He described the injury as something the team dodged from a more catastrophic perspective. However, the team is not yet in the clear. Negative X-rays rule out a break, but they do not eliminate the possibility of significant ligament damage, a high ankle sprain, or other soft tissue injuries that could still sideline the receiver for a considerable amount of time. Hill is expected to undergo further evaluation, including an MRI, on Tuesday to determine the full extent of the damage and establish a clearer timeline for his return. The potential loss of Hill for any period would be a monumental challenge for the Dolphins. Entering Week 12, he led the NFL with 1,324 receiving yards and was tied for the lead with 10 touchdown receptions. His unparalleled speed and playmaking ability are the focal point of Miami's offensive scheme. For now, the Dolphins and their fans hold their breath, awaiting the results of further testing and hoping that the initial positive news is confirmed, allowing their superstar receiver to return to the field sooner rather than later. Beyond the cart, the daunting implications of Tyreek Hill's ankle injury for the Dolphins. The image was a gut punch for the Miami Dolphins and their Super Bowl aspirations. Tyreek Hill, the NFL's most explosive offensive weapon, was carted to the locker room, his night over after just 7 snaps. While initial news brought a sigh of relief, the road ahead for the Dolphins is fraught with uncertainty following Hill's left ankle injury in a devastating 30-0 loss to the New York Jets. The incident and immediate aftermath. The injury occurred with 5:17 left in the first quarter on a relatively innocuous play. Hill caught a short pass from quarterback Tua Tagovailoa and was tackled by Jets cornerback Michael Carter II. While the tackle was clean, Hill's left leg appeared to twist awkwardly beneath him. He immediately signaled to the sideline and remained on the ground, clearly in significant distress. The silence that fell over Hard Rock Stadium as the cart arrived was palpable. Hill, who has been vocal about his goal of becoming the first 2,000-yard receiver in NFL history, was helped onto it, unable to put any weight on his left foot. He was officially ruled out for the game before halftime, and his absence was profoundly felt as the Dolphins' offense sputtered to a complete halt, failing to score a single point. A cause for cautious optimism. In the wake of the humbling loss, head coach Mike McDaniel provided the first piece of positive news. He revealed that X-rays on Hill's ankle returned negative, meaning there is no fracture. "We dodged a bullet," McDaniel told reporters, emphasizing that the team feared a much worse outcome based on the visual of the injury. This diagnosis is the best-case scenario following a cart-off. However, dodging a bullet does not mean Hill escaped unscathed. The focus now shifts to the MRI scan scheduled for Tuesday, which will assess the damage to the ligaments and soft tissue. The spectrum of possibilities ranges from a mild low ankle sprain that could cost him a week or two, to a more severe high ankle sprain that typically requires a multi-week recovery. The irreplaceable void in the offense. The Dolphins' performance without Hill underscored his irreplaceable value. Before his exit, the offense, while not scoring, was moving the ball. Afterward, it collapsed entirely. Tagovailoa finished the game with a career-low 51.9 passer rating, throwing 3 interceptions. Hill is not just a receiver. He is the axis upon which the entire offense rotates. His historic speed, often dubbed cheetah speed, forces defenses into specific, often conservative, coverages. He commands double teams and opens up the field for his teammates, including fellow receiver Jalen Waddle. Without that gravitational pull, the Jets' defense was able to clamp down on every aspect of Miami's attack. Entering the game, Hill led the league in receiving yards, 1,324, and was tied for the lead in touchdown receptions, 10. His campaign for MVP, while a long shot for a wide receiver, was a legitimate topic of discussion. That conversation is now on hold. What comes next for the Dolphins? The immediate future of the Dolphins' season hinges on the results of Hill's MRI. Short term, if Hill misses time, the burden will fall on Jalen Waddle to become the primary target, with players like Cedric Wilson Jr., Braxton Berrios, and River Crocraft needing to step up significantly. The running game, featuring Raheem Mostert and Devon Achane, will also be asked to carry a heavier load. Strategic shift. Offensive coordinator Frank Smith and Mike McDaniel will have to entirely retool their game plan. The deep shots and explosive plays that define their offense may become less frequent, requiring a greater emphasis on methodical, sustained drives. Playoff implications. The loss drops the Dolphins to 6-5, tightening the AFC East race and jeopardizing their standing in a crowded AFC playoff picture. Every game without Hill becomes a steeper challenge, making a potential return for a late-season push critical. For now, the Dolphins hold their breath. They avoided a worst-case scenario, but the specter of losing Tyreek Hill for any significant stretch is a threat to the very foundation of their championship hopes. The entire league awaits the Tuesday MRI, a scan that will carry the weight of a season.